To address the issues facing Tennesseans today, from 10 News, this is Inside Tennessee.
Good morning and welcome to Inside Tennessee, along with my colleague John North. I'm your moderator, John Becker, on this Sunday morning. And we are looking at a Knox County Commission race that is an open seat. Commissioner Biggs is running for a different county office, opting not to run for a second term. So this race is open. 2 Republicans are vying for a spot in the primary, and we welcome them with us this morning. Devin Driscoll and Kim Frazier with us, and newcomers to Knox County politics. It's great to have both of you with us. Devin, let's start with you. Why are you running for this seat?
Thanks for having me, guys, first and foremost. I'm from here, raised here in Knox County, and I've been very fortunate and blessed to work with young people here at D1 Sports Training for over 15 years. And I'm very lucky to have an amazing wife and 2 kids. And one thing we've seen over the last 15 years is so many young people graduating from high school and moving on to Charlotte, Atlanta, and Nashville for different opportunities. We're losing all these great leaders. So for me, one opportunity I saw that I wanted to be involved with was a workforce development program that we could integrate into Knox County to go along with Mayor Jacobs' Trade Academy that he's currently working on. So I believe that's something we can do here, and with between that and the trade school, we can really help the next generation of workforce here in Knox County. I don't believe everyone needs to go to college. So if we can do those 2 things, we can really help attract new businesses here to Knox County with a really defined workforce. And then secondly, I was somebody that had a business that was deemed non-essential during COVID with a pregnant wife at home. And I think it reiterated to me and a lot of other people how important it was who led and who governed. So like I tell our athletes here, sometimes you got to not only say something, but you got to do something. So I feel like my skill set is perfectly formatted for county commission, and I'm really enjoying this process so far.
Appreciate it, Devin. Kim, your reason for running and what makes you a qualified candidate for this race?
Well, thank you so much for having me. I have been a long time and present and active citizen lobbyist and community advocate here in Knox County. This is my 26th year living here. I met and fell in love with a UT volunteer with big orange roots and a passion for his community. And, this is our home. And so in the 26 years I've been here, I've served as a healthcare administrator, an executive director, an HR director, a nonprofit consultant, a spokesperson. And then when we started our family, I really realized that I really wasn't paying attention. Once my kids got into the public school system, I simply went to have lunch with my kids, and I was told I needed to eat in their classroom because of overcrowding. And so I started asking a lot of questions, and that was 12 years ago, and I'm still asking a lot of questions. And so I quickly realized that I was not paying attention, and that the decisions at the local level, they absolutely impact individuals, families, and communities. And I really needed to pay attention. My dad taught me, when you see a need, step up, don't stand back. And so that's what I've been doing for the last 10 years, is really advocating on behalf of citizens and communities to look at education, public safety, and infrastructure. And, I see this as an opportunity to deepen my commitment to public service, because that's what local government should be about. It should be about serving the public. And I know that I can be a positive and strong voice for communities. And, I really want to just get in there and get to work. And I'm unique and different because I have the experience and knowledge. I tell people I've been showing up for years when it was about people and community and not a campaign or an election.
Let's talk some specifics real quickly. John, go ahead.
Sure.
Candidates, you're both running at a pivotal moment in Knox County history, and that's because we're seeing significant growth. We've been on the uptick. You guys both live out west, so you see that. And one of the key things I think that this commissioner is going to have to deal with, the at-large commissioner, is growth and all of the demands that are being placed on the county. So I'd like to start with you, Ms. Frazier, in terms of what you see as ways that can be addressed if you were to be elected.
Thank you. And that's a great question. And, growth and development, we've seen exponential growth. And, I tell people that how we grow is just as important as if we grow. And growth is good if it has the adequate infrastructure to support the growth. And that's something that Knox County has a long history of, is being reactionary to approaching addressing infrastructure needs and the perks and the pains that come with growth. And so, it's been costing us more. One one thing that we are doing, and it really is a result of years of advocacy work, is the county is actually taking a comprehensive look at our needs. I tell people we don't know what we don't know. And right now, we don't know what our needs are, and we don't know the price tag of those needs.
Let me just stop you there real quickly, because talking to county leaders, we do know more than $100 million in backlogs of projects that need to get done for the infrastructure. They've determined that. Would you support any kind of tax increase that would go directly to infrastructure? Yes or no? And then I'm going to move to Devin with that question and his background on infrastructure.
Well, there really isn't a direct answer to that, simply because, raising or implementing taxes of any sort should be a last resort. And because we don't know what we don't know, we really see this advanced Knox initiative to come up with a long-range vision and policy framework and identify those needs as kind of like a Hail Mary. This is our one strong tactic to identify if a tax increase is even needed. And so,
all right.
I think we need to wait.
Devin?
I'm totally against a tax increase, right? I mean, the biggest thing right now is inflation is at a 40. It's over higher than it's been in 40 years. And perfect example. We had a parent come to D1 the other day, crying her eyes out because she could not help her child be able to pay for travel baseball this summer. Couldn't afford for them to pay for training because she can't afford the gas. And we've had those conversations all across the county. I mean, one thing we started this campaign, I want to be the hardest working candidate in any race. And we've knocked over 10,000 doors throughout this campaign. And the one thing people continue to tell me is they're hurting and they can't afford any more money coming out of their pocket. With that being said, I think infrastructure is definitely something we need to look at. It's been really, the last from 2020 to 2021, we've had a 50% increase in the budget for paving, right? And the fact of the matter is we've also hired a company to look at this and categorize and scan what roads we need to focus on most. And because we do need to do that, we need to look at the future and today. But I think the last thing we need to do is take more money out of people's pockets when it's hurting them at the most it's been in 40 years.
All right. We've got to take a quick break, but we'll be back with more of our conversation with these two candidates for at-large seat 11 in Knox County.